Glitch, it's time to thwip. What's up, guys? I'm AJ and welcome back to another Thwip Side video. And today I'm checking out the deluxe class Optimus Prime from the Transformers Earthspark animated show. Now, before we get into the actual review, I just wanted to do a size comparison with Deluxe Prime with other deluxe figures, because in package in the store, I thought he was a lot smaller and would be smaller than your average deluxe class figures, but that's not the case. He's about the same size as the Studio Series Bumblebee Ironhide, and probably if Cliff Jumper wasn't bent down like that, like I have him, probably around that size too. So I was surprised that he's not an undersized deluxe. I thought maybe because the demographic is for the show is more towards kids, maybe the figures are a little smaller, but not the case. I will say, as we take a closer look at him, he's not as wide, he's not as bulky as, like, say, the Ironhide, but that's just the aesthetic of the show, which I think they did a pretty good job of evoking his character model in the show. And we'll take a closer look now, starting with the head. For one, I am glad, I am so glad they put on his battle mask, because in the show, without the battle mask, oh my god, it is a thing of horrors. I don't know what is worse, the Prime in Earthspark without his battle mask, or the Marvel Legends Retro Sue Storm head portrait. Things of nightmares. But thankfully he has his battle mask on, and it looks pretty good. Just his head looks just like in the show. And then you move down to his windscreen. He's got some nice paint hits for his lights on the top of his cab. His Autobot / Ghost Alliance insignia are nicely painted. And then of course you get his front of, like, the grill of the truck, I suppose, is nice and sculpted with some more yellow paint hits. You go down to his legs. So yeah, it definitely has all, you know, that Earthspark vibe going on for sure. I will say I don't like the gaps in the forearms. Those, I mean, that's more common than I would like in Transformers in general, but it is what it is. They are kind of ugly. And then of course you got his smokestacks. We'll get over here. And then his backpack, which is the front of the truck. It does stick out a little bit too much for my liking, but the design of the figure. And I will also note, as we look at the ugly gappage here, which isn't as big of a deal to me as in his forearms, because most of the time I'll be looking at him like that, but still ugly. But speaking of you know, the gappage and design and stuff, these are like $5 cheaper than your Studio Series or Legacy line deluxes, so they don't probably have as big of a budget. Obviously this is once again aimed towards a younger demographic, such as the show, which I do happen to enjoy, even though it's not really aimed for me. But I do look forward to season 2 when it comes out. I think it's gonna come out towards the end of the year. But yeah, he looks pretty good. For the most part, they did the best they could to make him show accurate. This knee is really loose on mine, as opposed to this one. This is much stiffer. But we'll check out articulation since we're talking about it. His head does swivel. It is very, very tight, but it looks up an awesome amount. And then you've got shoulder articulation, and you got swivel, bicep, and you got an elbow joint, and his arms, or his wrists, do swivel, which is cool. He doesn't have a waist unless you disengage parts here, and then for you have to do that for transformation. Then he does have a waist, but not in your standard robot mode. His leg goes out about that far, kicks up that far, it crashes into, of course, his crotch piece, and you go up a little more if you swing it out a little. It goes back. There is an upper thigh swivel, and nice elbow or knees due to transformation, but again, that one is really loose. Foot articulation due to transformation, way back, not so much forward, and you get rocker. For accessories, he is part of the Mandroid Build-A-Figure wave, so you get Mandroid's right leg, or no, left leg, sorry, looking the wrong way. And then you get his Energon axe, which is a really nice two-tone shade of blue. Some nice little sculpting work in there on the handle itself. I love blue's my favorite color, which is funny because especially with this review with Prime and Cliff Jumper and Ironhide was a sea of red, but yeah. And then you get his ion cannon, which has some waffling, but I think they did their best to incorporate the waffling to look like just sculpt and techie details to the cannon. And I love the hit of blue on both sides there. So really cool with the accessories. I am not the smoothest person, or I don't know what to say, transformer of Transformers, I guess you would say. So I'm going to transform him off camera, and we'll take a look at his truck mode. And here's Optimus in his truck mode, and for what it is, it's not too bad. It's nothing fantastic, but it's serviceable. I do like how it looks in the front. You get some nice little paint hits of blue for the lights. This is all cast a grill in gray. The sides where, to me, is where it gets a little weak. I like how you see his faction insignia, but I don't like the gappage right here on the sides, but it's not too horrible. A little gappage there, of course. That's that side. His rifle is actually a big key to the transformation for truck mode, because it actually holds the back leg assembly, which becomes the back of the truck, into place. You clip them into the gun itself and then clip back here. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, at least you have weapon storage. But yeah, not a terrible truck mode, but I definitely like his robot mode better in this case. And I will say, mine doesn't really roll that well. The back wheels roll fine for the most part. It's the front. They don't like to roll. But for me, I'm not going to be zooming them around anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. So to me, just an average truck mode. Nothing spectacular, but doesn't mean I hate it. It's just nothing to glow about, I guess. So bottom line for me is, despite the shortcomings this Transformers Earthspark Deluxe Class Optimus Prime has, namely speaking of the hollowness in the forearms and the back of the legs, and on mine a wobbly knee here, he more than makes up for it, in my opinion, in fun factor. I mean, I could just see this guy being near my desk and just being like a fiddly figure, not in a bad way, just, you know, something you grab while you're working at your computer and messing around with. He's just a lot of fun to move around and pose around. His alt mode is average, I would say. Nothing spectacular to write home about, but his robot mode is pretty cool, and it definitely evokes the look he has in the show. And yeah, so I'm having fun with him so far. Transformation, while not super intricate, I think it is quite fun to transform him, actually. And because the show is set geared towards a younger demographic, I think a lot of kids will find him kind of easy to transform, which is a good thing, because you don't want to turn them off from Transformers, or we lose the next generation of fans. But yeah, I think his transformation is really fun. And with that being said, drop me a comment. Tell me what you think of Transformers Earthspark, the show, and if you're enjoying it or not. I know it's has the fans divided, but I happen to be enjoying it. And what you think of this figure. One last thing I will also say is, I wish, and I looked everywhere because I couldn't find anything about it. I do wish that there was a Voyager class, and as far as I can tell, there is not one, because from what I'm seeing, because of his deluxe size, he doesn't scale very well with other characters like Bumblebee and Twitch, and all the are supposed to be smaller bots, but they're about his size, if not some tiny bit taller, which is a shame, because, you know, I'd like to have some scale, you know, accuracy. So I wish this guy comes out with they come out with a Voyager class for him. But if not, he will be a great addition to my in progress rebuilding of my Optimus Prime collection as well as my Transformers collection. So once again, a lot of fun. Please comment, let me know if you've heard or know of a Voyager version of him. Like I said, I couldn't find anything for a Voyager. And with that being said, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will catch you guys soon on the Thwip side. Later.